This is A Course of Love, reading 75. We are in the chapter called Conscious Non-Planning. I read the last paragraph from 74. Receiving implies that something is being given. Receiving implies a willingness to accept what is given. This willingness is what you do not offer. Yet this is due to your lack of understanding about the nature of creation and can be corrected. Sin is simply the belief that correction cannot be made. This is the mistake that has happened in creation. This is how the impossible has become possible. If you were not so determined to believe correction cannot be made, correction would have occurred. This is the original error that is so in need of correction. Your belief in sin, or in other words, your belief that you have chosen is not reversible. Your belief in what you have chosen is not reversible. Is this not evident in the judgment you rely upon in your treatment of criminals, as well as your own self and those you love? You believe mistakes must be paid for, not once, but many times. And no matter how heavy the payment is, it only pays for what was done and cannot ever be undone. What does payment do but purchase something that is then yours to keep? What have you purchased with all your effort to make amends for your wrongdoings? You have but purchased guilt and hold it to yourself, a constant companion and a judgment on your own self. See you now why those who judge cannot enter heaven? Judgment proceeds from the belief in sin and the irreversibility of all errors. If you do not believe you can reverse or turn back to the state in which you existed before the original error, then you never shall. And yet all you need to do is turn back. Being an observer of your body has prepared you for this. Step back now to the place that has been held for you. You have not lost your place in line because you wandered. It has been held for you by the most loving of brothers, a brother united with your own self. This space you can turn back to holds no judgment and no fear, and so it is the repository of all that has proceeded from love. There it keeps all love's gifts safe for you. Love's gifts are gifts of creation or extension, gifts you have both given and received. Each act of love is added to the space in the universe that is yours and has become part of the whole along with you. All that has proceeded from fear is nothing and has no existence apart from your own thoughts. Your thoughts, however, have become quite harsh and quite entrenched in the belief of their right to judge. Many of you have let go your belief in sin and still have held onto your belief in judgment, thinking one is different from the other. They are not different, and while you do not see this, your thoughts remain based on fear, and fear thus remains your foundation. For judgment is but the belief that what God created can be changed and has been. Forgiveness, which replaces judgment, must come from your heart. To forgive based on the logic of your mind rather than the compassion of your heart is to only give thought to forgiveness. This many of you will give, even to deciding to forgive despite your better judgment. See you not how little sense this makes, how insincere this even sounds? Sincerity is synonymous with wholeheartedness, a concept you do not understand, for it is beyond concepts. But now we begin to integrate your learning as we move to wholeness. The first move towards wholeness is but to understand this. Heart and mind are not separate. A united mind and heart is whole heart, or wholeheartedness. You may ask then why this course has treated them as separate parts of you. This is simply because this is the way you see them, and because it has allowed me to address the different functions you have given them. What is the same cannot have different functions, and now your mind and heart must work together in the united function we have established, returning to your identity within God's creation. And this was reading 75. Wholeheartedness is sincerity. Sincerity is said to be the most important thing in this life. But by one of the wise gurus. Please just allow yourself some time now to allow this last reading to sink in, to access your wholeheartedness and sincerity as you go forward in this day. With blessings, blessings, blessings.